What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a brand new review for Love and Marriage Huntsville season season 6, episode 26. You guys, this episode is titled "Whitlow's Stay" or "Whitlow's Go." I go for the latter. Whitlow's Go. Now, before we go ahead and jump into this review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, shall we? All right, you guys, first question, if anybody knows, we're on episode 26 at this point. How many more episodes are left of this season? I just really had that question. I am tired. Like, really tired. How many more episodes are left? How many do we have left before the reunion? And then another question, Love and Marriage DC. Is that coming back after this goes off? Inquiring minds would love to know, because those people still don't know when they coming back for the second half of their second season. I feel like by the time they come back, they're going to say it's season 3. Jesus. And then we left off at a Christmas party, and it's almost Christmas again. So that shit is over a year old at this point. And I don't really honestly care, but I'm just wondering. But, yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, shall we? And again, in the comments section, if anybody is aware of when this season ends, because we're almost at 30 episodes, this really feels like like when we used to deal with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all remember back in the day, your Real Housewives of Atlanta used to hit the high 20s, almost 30 episodes a season, and that was exhausting. So just imagine how exhausting this is. And this fan base, I feel like, is a little bit more toxic than the Housewives franchise, just slightly. They might be as bad. But yeah, let's talk about this episode, you guys. All right, you guys, so this episode, it literally picked up where we left off, was with Stormy and Kiki talking, and, you know, her telling Kiki that she invited Tiffany over. Tiffany shows up with baby Ace in tow. And I was just looking, I was like, now, Tiffany, girl, is this, even Stormy said in her interview that baby Ace was her bodyguard. I was like, I knew I wasn't the only person that caught that. You brought this baby as a way to avoid a confrontation with Kiki, and I didn't like it. Now, I might not be the biggest fan of Kiki's, but I really didn't like that. And what I will say about Kiki is, I feel like Kiki got played by production and even her good friend Melody. You guys can feel how you want to feel, but I feel like she got played real hard. She got played and she got pitted against her cousin. Now, I know that when she was talking to Tiffany, that she was telling Tiffany that there are a lot of things that, you know, there's some things that Tisha has done to her, right? I'm not discounting that or anything of the sort. The thing that I've always had the issue with watching this show is, remember, what was it, season 2 or season 3, when Letitia had gotten her degree and they were at that party, and Kiki went up to not Tiffany, but to Kimmy, coming at Kimmy sideways about not defending Letitia. So I've been wondering since then, where was the disconnect? Because y'all were cool at that time, unless y'all were faking a funk, or you was doing everything you could to get on this show. But I will say, like I said, I feel like Kiki got played by production, because I think that, you know, especially with her addiction story, and then, you know, she was a professor, so there's a lot of stuff that we could have learned about her instead of what we've gotten from Kiki. And I will once again go ahead and say it. I blame production. I blame Carlos, and I blame her friend Melody. Again, feel how you want to feel. These are my opinions. Now, she brought up the situation with her and Tiffany, and she was telling Tiffany how she felt like Tiffany was always coming for her, which it was true. But then Tiffany wants to say, no, it felt like you came for me at the spa date. And I was like, no, ma'am. She did not come. Again, I ain't the fondest of Kiki, but I'm going to defend right when it's right and wrong when it's wrong. She did not come for you at that spa day. She addressed you at the spa day. She asked you, why do you, she asked you about something that she had heard. That wasn't her coming at you. So, Tiffany, go on ahead and miss me with the bullshit. And like I said, baby Ace was 100% a bodyguard and a shield for her to get out of everything. So then, Tiffany did apologize to her, and Kiki was telling her, like, when it comes down to me and my cousin, you were saying things that you knew nothing about. A lot of different things have happened over the years with us, and, she's done stuff to me and vice versa. So it is what it is, you guys. Let's pause here and move forward. Next up, you guys, let's talk about Martell. I'm going to be so quick with Martell because Martell is a spiteful, hateful ass little bitch. That's all I got to say. So Chris Fletcher went by Martell's new place, and so they're talking, and so Martell had asked Chris, like, how was the dinner with his kids? And, the dinner started out okay, but then it went crashing down to hell with his daughter Lexi, and, Chris once again feels that Lexi is upset about materialistic things. Could that be true? Yes, right? Because that's what she brought up was materialistic things. But I hope it's not just that. I hope it's more to it for her. And like I said the last time we talked about this, I don't want them to discount her feelings at all. I don't want them to discount her feelings. So you can have your feelings, but please just don't discount what she felt. Because from listening to it last time, it sounds like she didn't grow up in the house with them. So you guys don't know what she was told, and you don't know how she actually felt. So you can't discount her feelings. That's all I'm gonna say on that. They also did talk about the conversation that Martell and Nell Fletcher had with each other, right? And Martell says that Nell was being very disrespectful to him, and he don't want a woman to disrespect a man. The way he said it was so barbaric and sexist and everything. The way that it came out, in hindsight, I can understand what he was trying to go for, but the way it came out, it was just terrible. It was It was terrible how he said it. What he could have said was, I don't want to be in a situation where a woman is arguing with me, and I can't come back at her or something. Whatever. I don't know. He could have cleaned that up a different way than what he said it. What I will say is, I do want to ask this question though, because I have saw this a lot where people feel as if men and women can't have conversation with each other or even have a little bit of a disagreement. You can have a disagreement with someone that is of the opposite sex. It's all in how you do it. That's the key. You don't have to be disrespectful of the person. You don't have to get loud with the person. You can have a difference of opinion and you can express that to that person. So I don't understand. And then Chris was like, well, the next time you need to come to me. No, if I have an issue with your wife, then I'll talk to her. I'm not going to get out of line with your wife, but we can have a conversation with each other. It won't get heated or nothing like that. And if it does get to the point of getting heated, then I will excuse myself and then I'll come and talk to you. Now, Martell, I have a question for you too, right here. You and this whole situation about Mel changing her last name, you are delusional. What was the last name Holt? What has it done for her? You acting like Holt is like the last name Knowles, Carter, Fenty, Winfrey, Smith. The list can go on and on. You're acting like your name is so influential, and it's not. So you're upset that she got rid of your last name, and then went back to her maiden name. Sir, go straight down to hell. Please and thank you. Pausing here, and we're moving forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, we got Kimmy. So Kimmy and Tisha, they are doing a yoni steam. One other thing that I want to stop talking about is Kimmy's. I don't mind her talking about her libido, but I do mind her talking about her libido as it pertains to Maurice. Maurice can take his Mighty Mouse looking ass to hell with Martell. Maurice can do that, is what he can do for me. So they're doing the Yoni steam, and like I said, I want Kimmy to do things for Kimmy, not for the likes of Mighty Mouse. Do it for you. So they were getting ready to do the Yoni steam, and you know, Letitia asked the woman if you can do a Yoni steam when you're pregnant. I was like, well, who is pregnant here? Because I know Kimmy ain't pregnant, and I know damn well you ain't pregnant. So this fool pulls out a pregnancy test because she's talking about she's gaining weight and she's thrown up. I was like, so the next logical thing is to say, I'm pregnant. Okay. You didn't think that, even Kimmy was like, you didn't think that maybe you ate some bad chicken and you got sick? Because Marceau has a vasectomy. And she's like, well, maybe it didn't take. Ma'am, it's a vasectomy. I know it's a slim, I know that there's probably a slim, very small, it's a very small chance that a woman could get pregnant if her husband has a vasectomy. I know that it's probably like the smallest percentage, but Letitia, girl, please go away from me with this. Is this gonna lead to that? Oh my God! Because I just thought about it. How many fucking episodes do we have left? I just thought about it. We ain't even got to the thing of her, because remember the trailer. The trailer, they talking about her allegedly cheating on Marceau, and then we ain't even got to Houston yet for the cast trip. Oh my God. How many episodes do we have? Because we ain't even got to that shit yet. And the cast trip hasn't even been mentioned. Oh my sweet Jesus stars. So we are probably going to have at least 30 something episodes. Because I don't see it wrapping up in the next 4 episodes. I just literally don't. I just thought about it. We have a cast trip. And we ain't even got to this whole situation of Letitia potentially cheating on Marceau. Praise the Lord. Help me, Jesus. Why? Why? Why on earth are we doing this? Jesus. So, Letitia, you guys, she is talking to Kimmy about, her meeting up with Melon the last time and how she felt the way that it felt like she was being blamed for what happened with Kiki because she ignored her. I got her I got her sentiments about that. And then Kimmy told her how Melody felt the way that, at the town hall, that she felt dismissed, and Letitia was like, no, it was nothing personal against her. She's just going through a lot of stuff at this point. And I will say, Letitia, do what's best for you, right? Do what's best for you. If you feel like you got a lot of stuff going on, it's okay to dial back on some things. The question that I still have is, what the hell is, because she's talking about Scott Manor, the house that they renovated, and the apartment. What's going on with Scott Manor is the question that I have. What's going on over there? Because y'all have been building on that for a very long time. So at this, like I've been saying, I'm going to call it Neverland, like Nene said about Chateau Charest. I'm going to call it Neverland until at least we see a foundation. If I at least see a foundation, then I'll believe it. But other than that, it's going to be Neverland. But let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So this next scene with Chris, you guys. I realized it a few weeks ago. I was like, I feel like what they were doing, and this episode really solidified it for me, what they were doing. They are phasing the Whitlows out to usher in the Fletchers. And I was like, okay. When did I kind of figured that out when Chris and Nell was having that scene. Nope, I actually figured out at the beginning half of this season when I realized that they had interviews. I was like, Chris and Nell have never had an interview look ever. I was like, you know what? Yeah, they are phasing the Whitlows out. because if you guys notice, we haven't really saw them very much this season, which is a good thing. But we'll talk about them in just a minute. So Chris is meeting up with his son, Chris Fletcher Jr. I will ask the question, how old is this young man, right? Because I was so confused just sitting here listening to this conversation. Because this young man sounds like I said last time, he definitely sounds a little spoiled, a little on the entitled side. But I did like this episode because they talked about actually this whole entire episode centered around mental health. This episode kind of centered around mental health with Letitia, Chris Fletcher's son, Chris, and then the Whitlows. It's centered around mental health. He felt like that dinner was bullshit and he wants his dogs back. He hasn't talked to anybody in the family. He really ain't talked to his mama since the dinner. And Chris was like, but that was weeks ago. I'm sorry, I don't care how bad me and my mama would have got. Me and my mom, we never got into it to the point where I got arrested and she had to bail me out of jail or nothing like that. And I never got to the point where I cussed her out or anything like that. We never had arguments like what they had. But there was never a time that, there was just never a time that I could not talk to my mama. Now, when I did first move to Dallas, we would talk every day. If I didn't call her, she called me. And even if I didn't talk to her, so like what it used to be was when I first moved to Dallas, I still was going back home and I would stay there. I would stay at home. I would stay at home Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and either leave early Monday morning or late Sunday night, right? So when I got back, I would let her know, like, hey, I done made it home. I'm good. And then we would go to bed. And then if I didn't talk to her Monday or Tuesday, by Wednesday, she's calling me like, she's just checking on me, which I really do. I miss her so much, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I couldn't go without talking to my mama. We talked damn near we actually talked every day. Like I said, there would be those rare occasions where we wouldn't talk every day, but for the most part, I was on the phone with her every single day. Every day. Like I said, especially when I moved to Dallas, we were on the phone all the time. I would call her when I'm at lunch, and then I would call her when I get off of work. I call her when I get home, and we would talk. So I can't imagine not talking. I couldn't imagine that. So the one thing I couldn't hear everything in this scene because I know he said something about he doesn't sleep, and at 2 and 3 in the morning, I think he said he'd be out in the street somewhere. I don't know where he said, but Chris feels like he's battling depression, and so the young man said he'll consider counseling. Nah, bro, don't consider counseling. Go to counseling. If there's a problem, do something about it. Like I will say, for me, you guys, this past weekend, I realized that I had slipped into a depression. I realized it last night when I was doing something, and I was like, because my mood had switched. And when I tell you my mood really switched, my mood switched between Thursday and actually it started to shift on Thursday, and by Friday, my mood had really shifted upside. It had turned itself upside down, and I was really, 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 really super duper sad, you guys. And the reason why I was so sad was because of the situation. If you guys go watch my Rated to Love video, as well as look at my community tab, one of my classmates, she is currently presumed dead. They haven't found a body yet. So that really just made my mood flip upside down. And so I've been in a tizzy since then. And so I realized that, and thank God I was able to shake myself out of it yesterday. Today, I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, now I feel like myself. Cause I don't know how, it just happened. And what I do know I need to do at some point is see a doctor and try to find myself some antidepressants. I definitely do need to get on. It's been something that I've feared for quite some time, is having to take medication, because I've wondered if it will change me and who I am. But I'm not afraid of it anymore. But hey, we're going to send up a prayer for him. Let's pause here, you guys, and wrap up the episode. All right, you guys. So the episode ended with the Whitlows. Now, what I will say is I'm going to talk about some things first, and then I'll wrap it up with being positive. It's not going to be negative. It's just going to be my thoughts and my opinions, right? So we do realize that Tiffany does have postpartum depression. And with Tiffany, I don't understand why she thought that she would bounce back after having baby Ace. And the crazy part about it is when you mentioned wanting to have a child, Lewis talked to you about the pros and cons of having a kid. Y'all got two sons that are almost grown and out of the house. Y'all have busy lives. He's working, you're working, and he told you you wouldn't be able to go right back to work after having a baby. So I do feel bad for Tiffany, but like Lewis said, they had the conversation. And to be honest with you guys, I think he's happy to have baby Ace currently, but I don't think Lewis really wanted to have any more children. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think Lewis wanted any other kids. I think he was happy and settled in the life that they currently have, but Tiffany wanted another baby. She did tell him about talking to Kiki and how, that conversation went positively. And so at this point, they start to break the fourth wall because she talked about how she has to get up at 4:30, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get her makeup done. I guess she does her regular work, and then they have to film for the show, and they film late at night, and they have the baby with them. And then here's where she lost me at. Tiffany, girl, you lost me at this point, right? You lost me when you started to say the fans of the show wanted you fired because you weren't bringing any drama. No, ma'am. The fans have wanted you gone since your first season of this show. And then you talking about the fact that people were saying your husband's going to cheat on you. I don't know. I don't know anybody who said that. I took offense. I took a little bit of offense to her trying to blame her leaving this show on the fans of the show. Ma'am, nobody cared about you like that. I think a lot of people rejoice when we don't see you in the episodes. No shade, no tea. But I think a lot of people rejoice in not seeing you on the episodes, Tiffany. Now, to end it on a very positive note, right? I do hate the fact that, when she broke down, I definitely saw that was real, right? I do feel bad for Tiffany not feeling like herself and feeling unattractive and all that kind of stuff. And she said she didn't experience it with her son. And that's, sometimes it happens to women where they don't experience it with the first child, but they do experience it if they have a second, when they do experience postpartum depression. And like I said, I'm ending this on a positive note. I wish nothing but the best for Tiffany. I really do. And I hope that she gets the help that she needs to be, herself and to be a great mother to Ace and to their other sons, right? But yeah, at this point, Tiffany and Lewis are off the show. Let me know how you guys feel about that. I'm happy about it. I'm really happy. What I will say is, like I said, I do want her to take care of herself and, just be the best version of Tiffany. And that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below. You guys, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and also share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe out there, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.